Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got Nala in here co-hosting with us today. And we got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Coco Jones, welcome.
Hi, y'all.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I have a lot of energy today.
Good. Well, we know you from, of course, Bel Air, of course, and you signed to Def Jam as an artist. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did your co-host tell you when he came up here, Jabari? And how much fun he had?
Yeah, he did tell me. We was all nervous as hell. I was like, don't say anything crazy, sir, please.
Why you ain't tell him not to freestyle anything crazy? You ain't see him rap?
I did see that.
What'd you think of it, Coco?
He wanted to rap too. We didn't push him.
We told him not to.
We told him not to.
I tried to. I could see it.
And then double down and then triple down.
Jabari, he's a star, so he's gonna have to show all of his star assets. But you know what's crazy? All of our cast were really multi-talented. Like, did y'all know he plays the piano? Ollie also produces his own music. I mean, it's a lot of talented. Simone, who plays Lisa, sings down. Like, we're all like mad talented. I'm not surprised that he wanted to do that.
Now, you said you got mad energy today as opposed to?
Sometimes I'm just like a little worn out, but you know, this is a job, so I just do my job.
You stay up too late on TikTok sometimes?
No. I stay up too late working.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Coco.
So let's start from the beginning. For people that don't know who Coco Jones is, where are you from? How did you get into the music industry? How did you get into acting?
Yes, so I'm from Tennessee. I was born in South Carolina, but I was raised in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Okay. You know I'm from South Carolina.
Yeah, I have heard that.
What part you were born in?
Columbia.
Oh, the Metro, 803.
Yeah, I don't know none of that. I was just born there and then we left.
I don't feel that.
Dirt road immediately.
I literally went straight to the country, and I was raised there. And I would do like singing stuff just for fun, like at my talent shows or whatever at school. But I would just pop my shit. Like, I just really was like into it. And I come from sports. My dad played professional football for 10 years. So
what
I
team?
have like this. He retired with the Titans, but he played with a couple different teams.
No Cowboys, right? God, thank God.
Oh,
right.
Eddie Jones?
Mike Jones, not the
Mike
rapper
Jones,
one. Not the rapper one. Not the rapper one. Not the rapper
Mike
one,
Jones.
please.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm thinking Eddie George. Never mind. Mike Jones. Okay.
Yeah, so I had this competitive thing to me like my entire life. Like that's kind of how we were raised as kids, like just to go after it. And I remember I did this talent show and I just loved the audience reaction. And I was like, I want to do more of whatever this is. And then like I found out you can get paid for it and it can be a real job. And I was like, okay, putting the basketball down, getting this microphone, putting it up. So I just would sing at talent competitions, whatever Nashville could offer. It was a lot of country music. There wasn't a lot for like a young black girl, but I was just singing soul, like Aretha. I would just figure it out. I would do live stuff. And it actually helped me a lot now with how I perform now, because I would perform with grown musicians and I just have to captivate the audience.
I love Nashville. I call Nashville white Atlanta.
Okay. Low-key. Yeah. Okay, yeah. But anyway, so basically I did this talent competition. I won the kids section. I won the adult section, and then the judge was like, I'll work with this girl for free. He worked with me for free for like 2 years. We made this ghetto little EP. My mama printed it out, and it was about sleepovers and basketball, and I handed it to this like Disney exec at this casting call with 5,000 kids, and I was like, you're going to listen to this. Me, a fetus. And then a couple years after that, they called me to be on their talent competition, next big thing. And then once you start working with the channel, like if they like you, you know, they send you opportunities. Just went from there.
Let me ask you, you're pretty tall.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a problem with short men all the time, especially since you playing basketball, come up to you and act like they want to dunk on you or they playing basketball with you? Do you have that problem?
No. I've never had a man want to dunk on me. I'd be like, what?
It's not the dunk on. What you do is you run up on him and hit him with the...
No one's ever tried to talk to me over like that.
That's what you do. You
Who is doing that?
Charlamagne does that to anybody taller than him, which is a lot of people. And he acts like...
Even girls?
No, mostly
Especially
girls.
Why are you trying to break ankles?
That's right. What's up?
That's not
You know what
cute.
I mean?
If a guy came up to me doing that, I'm immediately like, anyway, nice meeting you.
I don't
So,
do it with the girls I
bless.
know, though. I don't just do it to random tall
okay,
girls.
well, I didn't know the context.
No,
it sounded
exactly.
like it was an every girl thing.
He doesn't know context
I don't know
either.
context.
He has no idea about context.
I got into a
Don't
fight
do
with
that.
context last week.
He don't know how to pronounce it. He don't know he don't know when to use it. He knows nothing about context.
Okay, but no, I mean, honestly, I feel like I've had guys of all different heights be into me. So
Would you date a short guy?
Yeah, I definitely would. You know, I've turned a new leaf. I don't know what happened. I really think.
No, it's beautiful.
must have just
I'm gonna
changed.
tell you why.
That's really
Because a
good,
lot of y'all tall women blessing is 5'6", and y'all don't realize it. So I'm glad that I'm glad that you starting to understand that your
don't want no
blessings
little
might
man.
be
Face she
short.
made just said not 5'6" though.
Just think about when you hold his hand. It's like it's like holding a child. Just think about that.
Hold on, y'all, please, because I'm not trying to do this with y'all this morning. No, so what happened was I really think that art imitates life. So when I started doing Bel Air, like, I feel like it just kind of changed my mindset. I'm like, why do I really care? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this bothering? And why do I care about what they're thinking about what's going on with me?
Ma'am.
So I don't know.
Ma'am, just do a little research.
Short men make better boyfriends and husbands.
Do a little research, ma'am.
Why did you?
He has that on his computer.
I'm saying.
Always shows that.
If you had a bookmark, just say that.
I don't want you to miss your blessing. Look, you got 6 reasons why
Charlamagne,
short
how
men.
tall are you? Because you pulled that up really fast.
5'6".
He's 5'5".
6 reasons why short men bring more happiness. Listen, what does that say, Coco Jones?
6 reasons why short men bring more happiness to their partners.
Don't miss your blessing now.
LOL. But you know what? I do talk about this with my girls, and I do feel like the short kings sometimes bring that energy. They really do. And I'm like, wow, I'm giving princess. I mean, clearly. I don't know. It just depends.
Princess, because they gotta buy it because they're not the same height, so they gotta spend the money.
No, just
No.
because
What you talking about?
they're just, I don't know, the character be better sometimes. Sometimes. I mean, like a tall dude, he just be giving like,
No, I think the
Yeah,
character
what's up? You know what it is.
absolutely better.
the character just be better. Like,
Yeah.
I guess they just have to prove
You like the
themselves
little
more.
man. That's okay.
When you're taller, you just feel like you're better because you're in a smaller percentage.
No, your feet don't hang off the chair. Like Charlamagne's feet hang off the chair. Like you want. I'm just joking, Coco. She really checked.
I was like, wow.
Who
You
feet
wouldn't
don't hang
get
off
the throne
chairs?
to alter so that your feet didn't dangle. I was like, why would he put the throne that high? No, they don't dangle, y'all.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to ask you, Coco, because I find it interesting that your father was in the NFL for 10 years, because, I got 4 daughters, and, clearly you didn't struggle for anything growing up, right?
No.
So how did he instill that work ethic in you so you didn't have like a sense of entitlement or feel a sense of privilege growing up?
Well, the thing is, I mean, we didn't struggle for anything, but we also wanted big things for ourselves. Like, I think seeing my dad live his dream made us all be like, okay, I want to live my dream too. What's my thing? I mean, my brother's was football, and he's been holding a football ever since he could walk, and mine became singing, and it was more like, okay, they can't buy that opportunity for me. Like, we don't know nobody. So the only way that I can get it is if somebody comes and finds me. I have to like present myself. I have to go and show myself to the world. And I really just feel like the drive was like a natural thing in all of my siblings. Like, we all are athletic. We're all competitive. We all just like have this, I want to be the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think also too, it does come from like training. Like, I guess like when I was in sports, if somebody did something better than me, I'd be like, okay, that can't be. I just don't like it. I just don't like the way it feels. I don't like when I know that somebody's better than me at something. It just makes me want to
Work harder?
I don't know. It's just kind of like a natural thing.
Do you apply that to music too?
Yeah, I do, but I also try not to like compare too much, because with music, I've learned it's not like A plus B equals C. It's like da 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 da, and then maybe this, and now you have to do this, and then it might equal C, or you got to go back and start over from scratch. Like, there's no formula to it, so I can't compare my journey to some other person's journey, because it's just not gonna work the same. It's all about the right opportunities and the right timing, and like sometimes it's about the bad so that you do have the good. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to compare in this field. I just compare with myself. Like, do I feel like I'm giving my best to every opportunity, and I'm showing up and representing myself the best?
Do you feel like you would have, or I've heard you say before that you appreciated your Disney journey because it made you who you are. But, now with like TikTok and social media and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to like attach yourself to a large machine to like get put out there. But if you could go back, would you do it without that?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's hard for me to really say, because I do feel like there were a lot of pros to being on a channel like that. I learned a lot about like work ethic, resilience with all of the auditions, and I don't know. I do think I would have had more creative control if it was my platform from the jump, if it was my audience from the jump. And maybe that would have helped me with my artistry and figuring out what I want to say quicker, because I kind of feel like I was behind maturity wise. And of course, like as an artist, like artists that are really artists, they live that, like they've been about that. And so I had to find something to be about, because I was just playing roles and doing what I was told. So I don't really know. I can't really decide. I think there's good to both, but I'm happy with how mine played out as well. So.
That's a great thing you just said, because it's like, did you know your voice back then?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. I just knew you want to be marketable. You want to be like sellable, like, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I really knew.
How were your parents when it came to that? Because, it's putting your kid into an industry like that is so many vultures and so many wolves. So how were your parents around you?
I have to give a lot of credit to my mom, because my dad like kind of stayed with my siblings, and sports was his thing, so they did that, and then me and my mom just figured it out, this industry, and I feel like she protected me from a lot of the harshness that could come from it, like the harsh critiques that I would get from certain things, or like the reasons why things didn't work. Like she protected me from a lot of that, or just dealing with like people, if they know you want something from them, it's just like there's this power dynamic sometimes, and I didn't see any of that. She saw all of it, and she just kept it from me. I do wish looking back that she kind of would have explained it to me more, because I do think I was a little naive.
Like what?
Like, oh, because I'm talented, because I'm nice, because I'm easy to work with,
you'll be a star.
Surely I'll be a star, And then when I did get a movie, I was like, they get it now. It can only go up from here. They're saying this and they're saying that, and it's the truth because they say it. Yeah. But I really do feel like I kind of had to have my heart broken to realize, okay, none of that means none of that. It's not even about my talent. It's not even about, it's really about how I look. It's really about, what demographic is going to be receptive to me. Like, these are things that have nothing to do with how passionate I am about this script or how hard I sing this song, how many highs or lows. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
I can't believe it. You had to get into the industry to realize it's not about talent.
I mean, I started at 9.
Yeah.
I mean, my first time on TV performing, I was 11. So, I mean, to me, it was a world. It was like a fairy tale, And then that bubble burst, and it's a harsh reality.
What was some of the feedback that they have given you?
I mean, I don't really know. She didn't really tell me. Okay. But I mean, there's a lot of colorism in the industry, so I feel like a lot of it is just logical. Like, I would be auditioning for a show, and then the next summer, all my friends would be talking about that show, and it'd be their favorite show. And I'd be like, oh, okay, it's clear what they wanted. It's like you can see it. And as a kid, if somebody's not explaining that to you, it can mess with your mental.
Absolutely. And how was getting Bel Air? How was that audition?
So crazy, because at the time, this is when things were like turning around for me, and I was like, what's going on, Christ? What are we doing?
What's going on, Christ?
At the time, I had just kind of went viral on TikTok, and I was like, okay, what's TikTok? Because what's happening? I had just told this story about like my whole journey, because this tweet was like, what happened to Coco Jones? I responded to the tweet. I did this video. They took the sound. It went viral on TikTok. And now I'm like, what's going on? So at the time, I get new acting representation, new acting management. And they're like, you need to audition for this role, Bel Air. And at the time, it's just so much rejection that you try to limit it, just if you can. And so I had seen this reimagining of Bel Air, and I'm thinking, what is a reimagining? They're doing the same thing, so they want the same thing in a different way. I don't look like Hillary. Like, I'm not.
I was going to ask you that, like, because of what the experiences you had with colorism, did you think, they're not going to give me that role?
Absolutely. I was like, why am I even trying for this, you guys? I go, can I audition for Ashley? They were like, Ashley's 12 in Bel Air. No, you need to audition for Hillary. I was like, okay, sure. I had new acting management, so I'm not going to tell them no. One thing about me, if my team tells me to do something and they explain it to me, I'm going to do it. Because I don't know everything. I don't know anything, for real. So I did the audition, and I did it very stereotypical of what I thought they wanted. Then I talked to the creator, director, Morgan Cooper, and he was like, I've been watching you. Like, just be yourself. And I was like, huh? Be myself what? Like, what's the angle here? Because I had never been told that. And he was like, you're a star. Just, like, be a star. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, all right, now I'm passionate about this. You put your heart in it. I'm like, okay, wait, now I'm excited, because now they want me to be myself. I can be myself. I was like, I'm ready to do my audition number 2. I was like, when are we doing it? So they had an appointment. Then they canceled the appointment. They were like, we're just going to go off your first self-tape. We'll let you know. I was like, okay. I was like, well, that was cute. That was a cute little burst of hope back to my life, back to my reality. And then I get a call from my management, my acting management, and they're like, we have the whole team here. When they have the whole team on the phone, it's either amazing or it's terrible. So I was like, okay. And they were like, and we're here. We just want to say, I was like, come on. They were like, congrats. As soon as they said congrats, I literally was like screaming. I was like, I got to go, y'all. I got to call my family. I called them on group FaceTime. My sister actually screenshotted it, because every time I wanted to give up, somebody got a call. my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, somebody got to call, you know? So when I win, it's like, we all take a breath of thank God, because it's just so hard.
That's right. Are you planning on giving up anytime soon? Because you haven't put your phone down. Are you waiting on a call? Or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to put it on the screen. I mean, I didn't want to put it here because, like, aesthetically, I just did on it.
How did that make you feel once you got the role, though? Did it give you, like, a confidence, like, you know?
It did give me a confidence. And, like, as an actor, at the time, I didn't really know what was going to go on with music because I wasn't signed yet either. I just knew, okay, this is structure. Like, in all of this chaos and all of this uncertainty, I know I'm going to be doing this from this time to this time, from these months to this month, this location, structure. It just feels safe in a way, you know? So it's more like a sigh of relief. And of course, excited, but heavy on the relief.
And when you said you did a stereotypical, was it because you watched the original Fresh Prince, so you did the airhead Hillary?
Yeah, just more like exactly what I thought they would want. But Hillary is me. Like, I do be talking my stuff, and I'm more like, I'm just a little more like grounded, I would say, like a little more like, because I have goals and things that I'm trying to achieve, and then I get knocked down and the rejection. I feel like all of these storylines are like more relatable.
Did you ever talk to Hillary?
Yeah, I did get to talk to Karen. Yes, I did get to speak to her. We were doing like an interview
Karen's
together.
her name, babe. But
Yes,
so y'all spoke to her?
yes. And she was telling me,
Karen
she was like,
Parsons.
I'm very picky. She was like, but you did your thing. She was like, I commend it. I was like, thanks. Okay.
How involved was Will Smith in this, if any at all?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like him and his whole family just kind of gave us this "we got your back" type of energy, which was really, really cool. Him, Westbrook Productions, like, I feel like they were very hands-on, and they gave us a lot of creative freedom too. If something didn't feel authentic, you know, it wasn't like we had to do that. We could like talk about it, have a dialogue, and figure out a better solution to make everything feel really authentic, which I ain't never experienced that before. I quite enjoyed it.
Dope.
And your first love was singing, right?
Absolutely.
And do you love acting as much as singing?
I appreciate acting because it's a challenge and it takes me out of my comfort zone, but it doesn't feel like home the way that singing does.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like home. I even was thinking about with the Disney thing. It's like Disney, for some reason, Disney people don't get that stigma of being child stars. Like, they're allowed to grow.
Really?
No.
You don't think so?
I think the complete
I mean, because I think Miley Cyrus, I think Zendaya. So, I mean, I look at what they've been able to do. I mean, those are my own two
there's
examples.
mad YouTube theories on like disturbing facts about childhood Disney stars.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how true the disturbing facts are, but I think it's more like as a brand when you are presented as something for such a long time, and then your audience, like, they accept that and they kind of grow with that. It's kind of hard to rebrand, and I mean that takes time. Like both of the ladies that you mentioned, it took time for them to like be something else other than straight up Disney. But everything that, you know, you do once you come off that channel, it still kind of has like an essence because it's in people's brains, you know? You were their childhood.
So do you feel like you can't do certain things? Like, you can't curse, like you can't, you know?
No, I don't feel like that. I did feel like that for a really long time, but I think that came more from my religious background.
What are you?
A Christian.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. But you know, Tennessee South, like, very heavy with it. So a lot of the times I was like, I say this with my homegirls, but I ain't gonna say it in the microphone, you know? Right. I was like scared to like be too for real because I was just scared that like what I was saying wasn't pretty enough, like, you know, safe enough, clear, in the clear. You know, you're taught like media training and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard for me to get rid of that mindset.
So I want to know more about like the living you did post Disney and before Bel Air, and just how like that shaped you. So like, what were the things that you got into? I know you did like the Terrell show and
Yes,
the
I
cooking
did
show
do
and
that.
stuff, but like, what was life like? What was life like for you?
I mean, life was. It was so weird, so weird, because my homegirls and my peers that I had met, like, okay, so basically I liked this guy and he was in a movie that I was in, and then he was like, come to this USC party. All of his friends were girls, and I was like, all right. But I ended up being mad cool with all of his friends that were girls, and then we all skirted him because he was a little whack.
Damn.
But anyway, he's fine.
Damn.
What made him whack, man?
I don't know, he just didn't.
I hope he blows up and sees you on a red carpet one day and says, whack, right?
Whack, right?
Whack,
Oh,
right?
God.
Whack, right?
His character was
Remember when I was whack, right? You're whack, right?
You know what? His character was whack. It wasn't even none of that. He know he needed to
He
grow
gonna
up.
be
We
in
were
Creed
all
4.
kids.
He gonna be in Creed 4. Just like
I am crying. So my friends at the time that weren't like actors, they were in school. They were like figuring out their career paths and like going to class, and they had consistency. And I was more like, oh, I have an audition today. Oh, I might go to the studio. Like mine was all up in the air and just sporadic. So it was weird. But what I did like is that they allowed me to feel normal. Like I definitely had like a very unnormal life, like this intermediate stage between moments. You know, you have moments.
Mm-hmm. You had to think, do I have to get a job?
Huh?
You probably had to think, do I have to
I
get a
did.
job?
I did have a time where it was getting a little, money was getting a little funny, but I did have a lot of savings and everything from doing all that stuff my whole childhood. But yeah, I did start to think like, what is my plan B? You know, I would think these things, but it never came to that. Thank the Lord. I would go party. Like when they would be done with their classes and stuff, I'd go over there. And like we'd go to parties and like I would just live life. Like I had never drank. I had never like really talked to guys like that. I was just focused on jobs and everything like that. So I got to be more normal. And I don't know, like I would sneak into the clubs with my Tennessee ID. It definitely said I was very much 19, but I'd be like, and they'd be like, come on in. I'd be like, all right. I was having fun. I really did have fun on top of having a whole different mindset of being anxious about where my life was going. But I had to turn up in the meantime. I had to do something.
All I hear is trauma.
I mean, it was traumatic. I mean, that's why I love therapy, and I rep the set.
Me too.
I love therapy real bad. Yeah, because you know, you don't know what you're holding on to. Like, I feel like I had a lot of colorism trauma that I didn't even know about. Like, I would automatically assume certain things about certain girls just because they were lighter than me, you know? And I wouldn't even recognize it. I'd be like,
Well, I assume certain things about guys when they're lighter than me, and I'd be right 9 times out of 10. They be sensitive as hell. They do.
Anyway.
He's a bully, though. He is a bully.
I work with one every day.
I will,
Whatever stereotype you got
like
about
that?
light-skinned men, he reinforces them all. I'm telling you.
But I will say, when watching Bel Air, at first I was nervous because I'm like, I love The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's one of my favorite shows from the 90s. Why would they remake it? But then when I'm watching it and I'm seeing a dark-skinned Hillary, it made me love the show even more because it's like, wow, we got a dark-skinned Hillary. This is fly. So I hate that colorism really played such a heavy role in your life. But I think that preconceived notion that you're talking about, a lot of us feel just in general, not even in that type of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot to do with entertainment, but it also has a lot to do with our literal history as Black people.
That's right.
Some of this stuff is like generations old, and you don't know that you're carrying it so heavily until you go to therapy. That's why I really recommend it. I feel like it's like standard.
You got to have it. I go once a week. Now, you're signed to Def Jam, right?
Def Jam High Standards. I'm a joint venture.
What's High Standards?
High Standards is my joint venture with Def Jam.
Okay.
By J-Dot.
What I Didn't Tell You EP?
Yeah.
Came out at #1.
Yeah.
Congrats.
How'd you feel about that?
My manager's laughing because I literally call her crying. Every time anything good happens, I'm like, literally, you're going to get these tears.
Congratulations!
No, literally.
Oh, God.
I think it's so crazy because I had made this vision board and I edited my album going #1. I put like a picture of myself and I put #1, Coco Jones. Like I had edited on this. I would look at it on my lock screen like all the time. So when I saw it, when one of my managers told me about it, I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, it's just so hard for me to believe the trauma. I'd be like, what are we for real? Is this a glitch? Like, what are we talking about? So I had to go look for myself. She had to show me how to get to the charts and everything. And then I was just like overwhelmed, just so happy. And just shocked because I just spent so much time nervous and afraid. I'm like, dang, I wish I could just go back and like not do that to myself, you know?
You deal with imposter syndrome?
Describe imposter syndrome.
Imposter
I think I know
syndrome is just basically when you know, any good that happens to you, you feel like, you know, it isn't warranted, or you feel like you're not supposed to be in the position you're in, or somebody's gonna figure you out, even though you are who you are. But in your mind, you always feel like somebody else, like you don't feel worthy of the position you're in.
Not necessarily imposter syndrome because I work my ass off. Like I'm going to show up and do 110. So I do feel like the things that are happening, I'm like, thank God. Like it feels more like I climbed up a mountain and I'm at like a really high point now. And people are like, oh my gosh, yes, they're seeing this high point. But I'm looking at that mountain like that was hard as hell. Like, I don't want to go back there. It's more like, I just don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again, you know?
How did you feel when Gabrielle Union said you would be one of the people that she would love to play in her biopic?
Oh, I felt honored. I love Gabrielle Union. I mean, she's one of the greats, you know? She's one of the ones where you watch her movies so that you can, like, get your mindset right. Like, I would watch, like, the OGs before I would do my auditions just to, like, remind me, like, to snap back into it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel honored and I love her. Every time that I have an encounter with her, it's always so nice. She's
I could
so
totally
beautiful.
see if they did a remake of Bring It On. You'd be one of the Clovers. Like, I could totally see you playing that role.
Period.
It's the What I Didn't Tell You EP. Is that about your, I guess, experiences visiting your friends on college campuses? Like, is this, because you said your dating life really didn't start until you started hanging around them, right? And this is all about, you know, dating and meeting people and stuff like that. So are these based off true stories?
Yeah, it's more like the things that people assume that I'm characters because they know me from characters on TV. So I wanted to tell stories that they would be surprised about or like just wouldn't expect, things that were not a part of any script. They were like my stories to share. So yeah.
Spending money. What is like the most expensive gift someone has given you?
LOL. Probably purses.
What kind of purse? There's difference. There's level. There's Michael Kors.
Ain't nothing wrong with Michael Kors.
A Chanel.
Okay. You know what?
You see how light-skinned he sounded just now? When he said, okay. When you said Chanel, you ain't hear? He's like, okay.
Why would he do you like that? I didn't even clock that.
Now, ask
That's
him how
crazy.
you feel about Chanel. How you feel about Chanel?
Chanel's dope. I like Chanel. Chanel's dope.
Okay, but there's other levels, right?
No, I just said Michael Kors.
Okay.
There's the Michael Kors guy.
What is Chanel on a scale?
somebody buys
On a scale of
Michael
Michael
Kors,
Kors to Birkin.
It depends on it depends on who they are. Like if all they got is that and they spend it on you, yeah.
Just look
I
at
would
him
say
over
yeah.
there.
On a scale of Michael Kors to Birkin, where does Chanel fall?
Oh, Chanel's up there with Birkin now. They had a price change. It's very expensive right now for Chanel.
Okay.
Yo, you guys are silly.
Okay.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just get in the music, stick to the music. But on Double Back, you did that with London on the Track.
Yes.
How did you guys produce that? I know you sampled SWV, Rain. That's a classic. Was that something that you've always wanted done? Like, do you have
Big record.
Thank you.
Do you have a list of like records I want to sample, or was that just like?
No, actually, that was London's idea. So I had been working with him for a little bit, and I feel like one thing that kind of happens with producers who have never like worked with me, they always like, I guess, assume what it's gonna be giving. And well, it's a lot different because there's a lot more music out there, and my voice is out there a lot more. But how it used to go is I'd come in and then I'd be like, they'd play me some beats and I'd be like, let me sing real quick. So then I'd sing and then they'd be like, oh snap, and then they get like inspired and they'd be like, here's this and da 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 da, you know, just because they didn't really know what I was coming with. So when I was working with London, we kind of had a couple sessions together. So he was like, you know, I got some ideas for you, da 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 da. When you come in next time, this is gonna be the song. He was like, trust me. I was like, okay, I'm open to all the things. So when I went in there, he played the track. I was like, oh, okay, you gotta come with that heat. But yeah, I knew it was gonna be fire.
Were you scared of the sample because it's SWV? Because Coco is such an amazing vocalist. Were you scared of that?
I'm not necessarily scared. I was just hoping they'd want to clear it.
Yeah.
Just hoping they want to clear it. That'd be the struggle.
Yeah.
But no, I was
I
excited.
like the theme of the record, Double Back, because it's all something we've done, but all things we try not to do.
What's double back mean?
Double, like spin the block, like
Double back to like a person, you know, that you know you kind of had.
Oh.
You thought you ended that situation and it's giving revisit. One more time, around
Got
the
you,
block.
got you, got you,
one
got
more
you.
time.
One more time.
Do
around
Is
the
this
block.
out of love or lust?
Probably both. Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah. Either or.
Okay.
You tell me.
I don't know. I'm married. What the hell are you talking about? That's why I don't
She
know.
didn't mean literally.
It depends on the circumstance.
Got you,
It depends on why you're circumcised.
Okay, so I know this EP dropped in 2022. Are we gonna get new music this year?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean, my goal is to have my debut album out this year.
Why are you looking at your manager? They saying no.
No, I always look at her when I say anything that. This is the internet.
Oh, okay. got you.
So I don't want to make false promises.
We could
but-
play something off the EP now.
Hold on. 2 more questions. How much of your success do you credit to social media?
How much of my success do I credit to social
Because I'm hearing all of
media?
this work that you've been working forever. So it's just like, how much credit to social media? Because some people might say, oh, you just blew up off TikTok.
No, that I wish. I mean, no. I think it's a combination of timing. TikTok came out right when I told the story about my long ass journey that had already was doing numbers. So to me, it wasn't just social media. It was the journey, the timing, the posting, and the virality of it. It was like a perfect storm. It was not one thing. It was a combination of all the things. Yeah.
And what was the shift in your music career that really got you going, buzzing?
It was when I did the Hit Different cover on TikTok that really, it really hit different. It really did hit different. Yeah, no, that was when I think people just had a different perspective of me, you know? Because all they had to really compare was like Disney music,
Yeah.
and then some independent things where you got to go find that, you know? It doesn't have the same marketing push. Got to go research. And then this cover was out everywhere, you know? So mad people was hitting me up when they saw it, like mad executives and artists and producers and whatnot.
I know you're probably tired of this, but we got to do it. You're on a hip hop station.
What?
Bust the bus. Bust the rhymes.
LOL,
God.
what about it?
You got to do it right fast.
Are you serious?
You ain't got to do that. Don't do that, man.
Let's
You done
go.
did that on
I'm feeling like I'm
TikTok.
running
You
and
done
I'm
did it
feeling
on
like I gotta
Wild
get away, but I know that I don't, and I won't ever stop because you know I gotta win every day. Why would he bring that out? No, I'm not gonna do the whole thing because when I tell you,
Because you don't know the words for real.
Oh, don't let him talk to you like that. He said you be humming.
Okay, so are you on my side or are you challenging me?
Challenge!
I just feel like you don't know. I feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think nobody knows the words for real. Not even Busta.
Don't let him talk to you
They
like
gonna make me
that.
do it.
Don't let him talk to you like that.
I'm gonna do it again.
Don't do it. You don't have to do nothing you don't want to do.
That man just
Coco.
said
Okay,
you
wait,
can't
but
do
I gotta
it.
tell y'all.
Doing that.
I gotta tell y'all a story.
Okay.
You're gonna scream, laugh, and cry. Okay, I should tell the story. Okay. Okay, so basically, Lord, when I was at the Rock Nation brunch, right, I saw Busta Rhymes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So
boy.
I go up to him and I was like, no. Okay, so I go up to him and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you had just seen my cover, my freestyle of your thingy bob on Wildin' Out.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, yeah.
Busta Rhymes wasn't at the Rock Nation.
Listen. I was like, remember? I was like, because I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, you know? And he was like, that's good, shawty, that's good. I was like, all right, you take care now.
It was
So
2
then
Chainz.
I walk away.
It was 2 Chainz. No, it wasn't 2 Chainz.
I walk away and I'm talking to my manager. I said, I'm also looking up the lyrics to look at me now because I'm
You
like,
don't
I need to
know.
write it. I'm thinking something was off.
Oh, boy.
That wasn't right. I'm looking it up and I'm saying, Busta Rhymes, who was that?
He doesn't have dreads anymore.
My manager goes, girl, that's E40.
No.
I was like, oh no. So then I felt
I gotta get
real
away.
I was so mortified. Because how I did, y'all.
Oh man.
I felt real bad. And then didn't he hit somebody up and be like, I think Coco thinks I'm Busta Rhymes.
Yo.
And then my manager cleared it up. She cleared it up.
That is so disrespectful.
That is.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
rough. That
So
is rough.
funny. Oh, man.
Wait, is the mic on? Will you turn the mic on so you can hear? You said what?
Sorry, I introduced her quickly, right? I introduced her quickly. I'm from Oakland, and she had met like 50 people.
That was a good one. You got her good.
So I was like, okay, meet him. And then I was talking to his wife. So I started hearing her rap, and I was like,
Oh my goodness.
Coco. And then we're walking away, and he was like, love, Lid, da da da. And I look back, and she's like, Lid, please, who? And she's like shaking. She's like, who was that? And I see her looking at the remix. It's like Chris Brown remix, blah, 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 all the writers. And I was like, that was E40. She was like, I just rapped the whole verse for him.
Yeah.
And said that. And I was
That
like,
was a humble slice of pie.
That's the kind of stuff
But
I
you gotta
love to
come,
do.
he's like,
I love to do stuff that you be like, who that? I'm like, oh, that's E4. That's Busta Rhymes.
No, they do that to me all the time.
I love that.
No, they do that to us all the time.
That's really,
Somebody come up here,
I
they'll have a
love that.
sheet with a different person's name, and I'm like, and special guest, and I say the person and be like, that's not me.
I love it.
No.
And I bet you was so
felt real
confident.
bad. I felt really, really
You
bad.
should learn an E40 record. Just
no, she knows it.
I know. I
I
give
do
you
an E40 record. Go.
You Googled one afterwards. We're not editing this. They can see you whispering to your manager.
See how you trying to?
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to function, Pete. Yeah, I do know it. I do.
So
I just
hold
had to
on.
make sure because I couldn't do that
She
again.
asked me 2 of them. She was like, that one, I know the other one, like the whole hyphy. And I was like, yes, that's E40. She was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Did
it
you
was a
double
humble-
back? What y'all said? We rubber back? What y'all said?
Double back.
Did you double back the E40 and say?
You knew it was double back. So why would he go and say that? Why would he say that?
Did you double back and say
No,
the verse?
I took my humble slice of pie and it was a learning lesson. Just don't rap for niggas. Just don't do it.
I agree.
Honestly, truly, just
That's
let them say their name. Hi.
Oh man.
I just was like, yo, oh my gosh, you saw that Wildin' Out? You had seen it? And I should have known. And he was like, yeah.
So you traumatized. That's why you didn't want to rap the verse. That's why you didn't want to rap the verse no more.
I'm like, please, at this point, it has followed me around. I didn't know it was going to go that viral, though.
Oh Lord. Congrats too for winning the NAACP award.
Thank you.
Outstanding
Thank
new
you.
artist.
Thank you so much.
How'd that feel?
I was literally shocked. I didn't even prepare anything. Didn't even think twice about it. But also, we just be going, like just hustling. So I didn't even have a moment to sit there and think about what I would have said. I was in the back, right? So they called me back there, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm thinking that I'm about to present. So I'm looking at my my prompt, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm like, let's throw a little joke in there. And then I hear them presenting my category, and I have my coat on, and I'm like, hey. And I'm telling all the people, I'm like, hey, y'all, this is my category. And they're just running around. They're like, okay, anyway. And then I hear Coco Jones, and I was like, I literally screaming back there. Like, I take my coat off. I'm like running up the stairs. I had no time to think about it. I was really just shocked and surprised. So my reaction when I get up there, I'm literally screaming myself because I was just surprised. I was so happy, though. It's my first award for music.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
More to come. More to come.
Definitely
Thank
more to
you.
come because everybody says how much of a star you are. But what advice would you give the aspiring artists?
It's really about just not giving up. I mean, a lot of the people that are here, it's just because they did not give up, And a lot of the times it's not going to make any sense, but the best thing you can do is move on from that day, do it again, do it again, do it again. And one day you'll be at the right opportunity with the right preparation and it'll be your time.
So you write as well?
Mhm.
Word. Okay, okay. Have you sold records to people?
Yeah.
People we know or? Wow. Big. Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Manager said,
Nah,
mind
that's
the business.
dope.
We doing
Mind your
business.
business.
So even
Even
when the
soon.
records are
Real bad.
personal to you, do you sell them? Or?
Like I said, it depends. It depends on what feels right to me.
Yeah.
Like, but honestly, truly, it would have to be like, this is my complete soul and essence. I'm naming my project around this. This is me. But yeah, I'm like,
What
we
about
could do another.
if you were in the phase of life that you were after Disney and you had a record somebody wanted? Like, would you still sell it?
I actually did.
Oh,
like,
really?
I did have a record that was the epitome of what I had just went through.
Mm.
But I ended up putting it out. It just didn't. That thing kind of fell through. But I was like, here, because I always feel like if that's my way to get where I need to go, then that's my way. You know,
Right.
I'm not gonna hold anything too tight because nothing can get out, but nothing can get in either. That's just not the mindset I want to have in general.
And so selling records helps you get to this point.
I mean, no. Well, sure, maybe. I don't know. It honestly, it was all these little pieces that I could never put together. Like things that also happened that had nothing to do with me. Conversations that I hear about much later, where people were like, "You know this girl?" Things that had nothing to do with me. It had to be God for real.
All right. I love what you said about if you feel like you can make another one here.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
That's important because that's like betting on yourself and having confidence in yourself.
Absolutely. And that's what another thing too. Confidence is really key because when you walk into a room, me as an actor or as a musician as well, when you walk into a room, you basically have to sell. You have to be your own marketing team, your own PR. You have to make it look like if y'all don't sign this, if y'all don't get this, you're missing out on money. Because it's about dollars at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't have that confidence that you yourself are the shit, it's just not gonna radiate. And people they don't buy it. Like I know that there have been times where I've walked into rooms and I wasn't 100% like amped up and it just wasn't giving. And then there were other times where I'm like, I don't care what none of y'all say. I know I'm that girl. And maybe I didn't get that job, but they definitely call me back. They definitely remember me. You know, that confidence is really something.
Your mom and dad did a phenomenal job.
That's right.
Thank you.
They did a phenomenal
Thank you.
job.
And what do you want to hear? Let's get a record on before you get up out of here. What you want to hear?
Let's play Double Back.
Double back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here it is.
Dedicate
Double back.
D40. dedicated
You know
to
what?
E40. When she see you again, she gonna roll up on you and rap sprinkle me.
I'm hoping I don't regret telling that story,
Oh
Lord.
my goodness. It's the Breakfast Club. It's Coco Jones.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.